Behind every great man
is a great, confident, exceptional woman.
Hi, and welcome to Behind Every Great Man. I am your host, Jessica, and today's episode is the most important work you'll never get paid for, because what you do can never be measured with money. Behind every great man is a great woman, standing tall in what she does and finally calling it enough. Today we're talking about a word that I wish we could eliminate completely in certain contexts. The word just. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. I just do mom things. I just work part-time. I'm just home with the kids. I don't know about you, but when I hear another woman say that, or even myself, it makes my blood boil. Because I know that I'm witnessing her shrink the most important work of her life. And deep down, we don't really believe we're just anything, but we say it anyway. Why? I want to dig into why. Where does this impulse come from? And how do we stop it? For ourselves, for our daughters, for the women listening to us. Let me take you back to this moment that hit me so hard. My sister-in-law was visiting from Arizona recently, and she's incredible. One of the hardest working women I know. She works like 12-hour days, 6, maybe 7 days a week. She grinds it out. We were in the kitchen. I was at the counter cooking. She was sitting, and we were just chatting. She asked me, how do you spend your time? What do you do during the day? And I said, I just do mom things. I create meditations for Insight Timer. I'm just starting a podcast. And I could have left it there, but I didn't. I don't know what came out of my mouth after that. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what I said. I just know I was trying to add more to fluff it up as if what I had already said wasn't enough. My heart was so heavy after that exchange because I knew what I did. I couldn't stand there confidently and say what I do. No, I had to try to fluff it up because I didn't think it measured up to what I thought she would think of me and how I spend my time. In hindsight, she wouldn't have judged me. She would have had a gracious response and we would have gone on talking. But in my head, I got jammed up. I felt like I needed to justify my time. And that's what started me thinking, why do we do this? Why do women with the heaviest, most soul-shaping roles in the world feel the need to pad our answers? You never hear a surgeon or a doctor or a therapist say, oh, I'm just a surgeon. I'm just a therapist. I'm just an engineer. Here's what I've come to believe. We live in a culture that measures worth in productivity and profits. I hear my husband talk about it every day with work. We absorb these messages constantly that say, real work is paid work. What is measurable is what matters. Productivity is business output. And so when we describe what we do, we unconsciously diminish it to match the values of the culture around us. Because truly, how do you measure holding your toddler through daily meltdowns? That's currently where I'm at right now. How do you quantify the quiet decision to get up early so your home feels peaceful before everyone wakes up? How do you log the 1,000 little invisible things you keep track of so the whole house can function. You can't. So instead, we say, I'm just home. I just take care of the kids. But friend, let's be honest. Your work is more than just anything. Every hug, every meal, every bedtime story, every tear you wipe away, every moment you bite your tongue instead of snapping, those are investments. They may not hit a spreadsheet, but they build legacy. If you add up the value of all the work that happens in a home, the meals cooked, the laundry folded, the schedules managed, the rides given, the bills paid, the birthdays remembered, economists estimate it would equal almost 1/3 of the entire U.S. economy. Think about that. 1/3. That means what you and I do every day is equivalent to running an entire company. Only no one calls it that. And no one's handing you a paycheck for it. And because there's no paycheck, society often acts like it doesn't count. And sometimes we start to believe that lie too. But make no mistake here, without the work inside the home, the work outside the home falls apart. The marketplace only thrives because someone is making sure life runs underneath it all. Linguists call the word just a minimizer. It reduces the importance of whatever comes after it. I just want to ask sounds softer than I want to ask. Or I'm just a mom sounds smaller than I'm a mom. So when we add just, we are softening our presence. We step back from taking up space. Man, I wish I could go back and stand strong and proud and confident in the kitchen with my sister-in-law and just stand on what I do. I'm a stay-at-home mom, period. So what if we stopped using language that made it sound small? Imagine if every woman listening dropped just this week. Imagine the ripple effect of women answering with full voices. I'm raising a family. I'm home with my children. I'm a homemaker. And standing proud in that. Wow, what a different world this would sound like. Let's take a moment for our weekly pause now. Whatever you're doing, running errands, working out, folding laundry, just take this time for you. If you can, close your eyes. If you can't, that's okay. Let's all take a deep breath in together. And let it out. Another deep, soothing breath in. And let it out. One more deep, cleansing breath in. And let it out slowly, as if blowing out a candle. Place your hand on your heart. Take a moment to feel that steady rhythm. This heart pours itself into your family, your home, your people, day after day, night after night. Your efforts, your unseen acts, all that you do that isn't confined to the hours of a 9-to-5 job. That is the most valuable work you can do. Because your job doesn't end. You don't get to clock out. You are on call round the clock, and that matters. And that is invaluable. Let's take a moment to acknowledge it. The way you love your partner, the way you love your children, the quiet ways you create a safe home, your hidden sacrifices, the mental load you carry. It all matters. Sister, you are leaving a ripple effect that will echo for generations. That impact is worth far more than any paycheck you could ever collect. You know that, and God knows that. You are forming human beings. You are making decisions every single day that impact eternity. That is not small work. That is not just anything. Take one more deep, collective breath in as a community. Let it out and open your eyes. Keep this with you, in your heart, in your voice, in your presence, and watch how your world changes when you stop minimizing the role that you play in it. I dream of a day when being a homemaker rolls off the tongue with the same confidence as saying you're a doctor or a lawyer or a therapist. So here's my challenge for you. Drop the just. When someone asks you what you do, speak it with confidence and stand there proud knowing you do the most important and valuable work there is. And when you hear another woman start to minimize herself or her role, lovingly interrupt her, look her in the eyes, and say, "You're not just anything. You're everything." When you feel the need to add more, take a breath, smile, and let your answer be enough. And together, maybe we can raise a generation of women who don't feel the need to minimize all of their efforts. Thanks for being here, friend. If this episode spoke to you, would you share it with another woman who needs to hear that she is doing holy work, not just any work? You can find more episodes of Behind Every Great Man on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.